what do you say? You want to see my secret?
Hey guys, what's going on? We are here for another version of Abby's Window, and you know what? I think Bray Wyatt may have been listening to a little Bonnie Raitt this past week. You know, that song that goes, let's give them something to talk about, a little mystery to figure out. Well, we've got a big mystery to figure out on our show this week, and look, thank you, Bray, for giving us something to talk about because, man, it is so much better when we've got some stuff going on. So, without further ado, let me introduce Jodie. Jodie, what is going on? And we have got lots to talk about.
We sure do have lots to talk about because we got, finally, after 6 weeks, we got a Firefly Funhouse episode, and it was pretty freaking awesome.
I can honestly say I don't think anyone expected what we got. So let me just run it down really quick. And it started off obviously in the Funhouse, and Bray was just kind of catching us up on what he had been doing since he's been gone. So telling us a little bit of what was he doing? A little bit of knitting.
Sulking?
Yep. He was, and then learning how to raise the dead. So that played a big part into the overall story. Then we go to Ramblin' Rabbit, and Ramblin' kind of exposes him for what he was really doing, and that's supposedly laying in the corner, shivering after losing the match to Braun Strowman. So, of course, Bray didn't take too kindly to that. And then we got Cult Leader Bray. Cult Leader Bray. So amazing. Like I said, I honestly thought, no, I'm sorry. I kind of skipped ahead of myself because Braun came out to the ring, and, you know, kind of interrupted the Funhouse, which we never saw that happen before. So Braun came out and interrupted. And then, of course, we got Cult Leader Bray come out. Now, I was expecting, and I don't know about you, Jodie and Jeff, but I was expecting Fiend at that moment. When he went out there, I thought for sure we were getting the lights off. I thought for sure we were getting the Fiend behind Strowman, and we were going to get him attack Strowman at that point. I don't know if you guys thought the same thing, Jodie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I did. I thought, oh my gosh, the Fiend's going to come out and get him. Because, I mean, we never really we obviously fantasized about Cult Leader Bray coming back, but never actually thought that we'd get it. And I was actually watching this episode with my stepdaughters on the couch. And the second I saw Cult Leader Bray, like my jaw hit the floor and I actually got tears in my eyes. I just went, oh my gosh, it's Cult Leader Bray. And yeah, I definitely got tears in my eyes. I was so excited. I was almost pinching myself because I was like, wait, is this for real? Is this really happening? Like, are we really getting Cult Leader Bray back? And seems like it.
Wrestling Boy says we could have a new Wyatt family. Love you guys. We're going to get to that, to Wrestling Boy, and welcome. Let me throw some greetings out here to everyone. Let me see who's all joined us earlier in the stream. Josh Savage, hello to you. Welcome. Joshua Mickelson, hello to you. Jacoby Snow, WWE fan, hello to you, and welcome. KJ Carter, hey man, what's going on? Welcome to you. Monica King, hello to you. We have Killer Sasuke, welcome to you, my friend. We have almost read my own name, Rusty Shackelford. We have Rusty in the chat. Let's see who else. Who did you say?
See Wrestling.
C Wrestling is here. Welcome to you, man. DJ B Tazzy, welcome to you. We have an interview with DJ tomorrow afternoon. So there you go. Look for that one in the future. James Chadwick, hello to you. Chalmers, welcome to you. Jake, welcome in. Nails, of course, welcome to you, Nails. Austin 316, welcome to you. Roman Reigns, welcome to you. Dave in real life, hello, man. How are you doing? Dakota Totsky, welcome to you. So welcome to everybody that has come in. And yes, so we got our glimpse of Cult Leader Bray, and Cult Leader Bray. Look, I love how Braun played this too, because man, did Braun look scared when he saw him, more so than when he had saw Funhouse Bray. I mean, you can tell Braun was shaken in when he saw and when he heard that voice.
Oh, for sure. And there's definitely some things that stood out. I've obviously gone back and watched this several times. And there's definitely some interesting things that stood out that I haven't seen a lot of people mention. At one point in the beginning, he said while he's had this time off, he infiltrated a reptilian stronghold and then said, "I see you." And obviously with Bray, everything means something. So, I thought that was really definitely an interesting thing that he said. I thought for sure when Braun's music started and you heard the train that he was going to come barreling through the funhouse. That's definitely something that I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world is going on? And then obviously he came out to the ring, and like everybody else, I thought for sure it was going to be a Fiend attack, and it wasn't. And yeah, it's
crazy.
So
Yep.
I did some digging, because while I was watching this, I think it was the second or third time I actually watched this episode, I'm like, that music sounds so familiar when he's actually talking as Cult Leader Bray. And I'm like, where the heck have I heard that song before, or the music before? And I went back and watched the WrestleMania match with John Cena, and during the segment in that match where he is Cult Leader Bray, it's exactly the same music. No joke, exactly the same. And they also end that segment in both the WrestleMania match and that Firefly Funhouse episode by saying "run." So that was something that stood out to me too.
Awesome. We have a comment from Joseph Mengadote. I hope I say that right. When Bray Wyatt said he raised the dead, and then on the paper that was shown, there were 2 headstones and a zombie. Oh, I just missed it. Let me go back up. 2 headstones and a zombie and a witch, which I believe the zombie is the Eater of Worlds, Bray, and the witch is Sister Abby. Good call. I think that some people are drawing those same comparisons as well. So yeah, it certainly could be. Richard Murphy says it gave me chills when Wyatt said it looks like you've seen a ghost. And obviously, yes. I mean, he, of course, Bray looks a lot better in this outfit now. He's, we all know, and Jodie's made it clear, he's a lot more buff now. So he looks a lot better. As
I said before, I am married, not blind.
He looks a lot better than he had looked before. So completely different look to him in this. But obviously the voice doesn't change. And he, still has that gravelly voice that he used to use back in the day. And then, yes, of course, when the segment all ended, Bray said to him, "I'm not hard to find." And he gave us the line.
You know where to find me.
Yes, gave us the line, "Follow the buzzards," and then turned around and he had the lantern and, of course, blew the lantern out and gave us "Run" at the end. So awesome stuff, man. I like I said, I was pretty stunned. I did not expect it at all. I was definitely expecting a Fiend attack for sure. But yeah, I did not expect this at all. And now, look, the internets are going crazy, and everybody's saying, it's 3 faces of Foley all over again. And now, we know now that Bray's Cult Leader character is one of his personas again. And I think someone brought this up too. Who brought up the thing about the cardboard cutout that he didn't kill this version of himself in the funhouse? He killed the Eater of Worlds, Bray.
Yes. And some people see them as 2 separate entities and some people don't. I personally, like my husband, he sees them as the same person. He said that is Cult Leader Bray. And I'm like, no, that's Eater of Worlds Bray. So, my husband was a little bit confused, like, why are we getting Cult Leader Bray back when he said that he would never turn into that version of himself again? I'm like, that wasn't Cult Leader Bray. So I think if you see them as 2 separate people, then it makes more sense, because if I remember correctly, too, the Eater of Worlds Bray, when he was actually wearing that apron, wasn't that when he was in his feud with Matt, and then when he actually teamed up with Matt after that?
Yeah, I
So
think
that was
so.
post
Yeah.
Abby.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, because that's when he started wearing the apron, and a lot of people were making comparisons to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then at that point when he did that, because he looked a lot more like Leatherface dressed that way. So yeah, I think that was around that time. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
But
I think it's a different. I think it's me personally. I see him as two different characters.
Yep. Yeah. Turbo Cash joined. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Who else do we have in the chat here? Sunny Wolf is in the chat with us as well. Hello to Sunny as well. Let's see. So, yeah, I mean, look, this opens up all new doors now, because pretty much I think everyone knows now going forward at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, we are going to have a match between Cult Leader Bray and between Braun Strowman. So, I mean, I think that's pretty safe to say, and a pretty safe bet that that's what's going to happen. So now I think the next question that everybody's asking is, and I asked this myself, and I think I threw a poll out to you guys about this. Do you guys think that The Fiend is now kind of put on the shelf a little bit? Or is he coming right back for SummerSlam? Because if that's the case, then he is going to – so Cult Leader Bray is obviously not going to win. And maybe he's not there to win. So you know what? Let's take this one at a time. So for the next pay-per-view is Cult Leader Bray. Now there's rumors swirling around. I know Jodie said this as well. I know I could see Jacoby Snow is saying in the chat that this is going to be another cinematic match. People are saying it's going to be a cabin match. And again, I had mentioned this as well, because I said, what if Kyle Scarborough, when he was sending out all those pictures around WrestleMania, was foreshadowing and not, obviously that didn't happen at WrestleMania. And a lot of people were kind of thinking, I was kind of expecting this to be like a cabin thing. So, and we all know that Kyle had mentioned they've been working on this pretty far ahead of time. So what if he had just changed up the time a little bit and he was showing us something else that's coming down the line? So a cabin match would certainly make sense. So, I mean, look, if he's going to they're going to do cinematic and he's going to take somebody back to their roots and try to scare them with that, then a cabin match would certainly make sense. Jodie, what do you think?
Absolutely, 100%. And this may have been Bray's plan all along, to throw us off with the cabin pictures and all that stuff to make us think it was WrestleMania. But what has he been trying to teach us all along? It's about patience and storytelling. And just because he gives hints early on doesn't mean that it's going to happen in the next pay-per-view. It could be a year from now that we see something like that. Who knows? He's always been really good at those intricate stories. And I would not be surprised if Extreme Rules is a cinematic match. And, in that Firefly Funhouse episode too, he said, in order for us to move forward, we must first take a step back to where it all began. It all began on the Wyatt compound.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Yep. And you think about the time, even the picture that Bray posted, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, was a picture of Braun himself and Rowan on the Wyatt compound the night that they fought the New Day.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I definitely could see it going back to where it all began and having that really cool cinematic match, because it may be the last pay-per-view that they get to do something like that.
Yeah.
A fully cinematic match.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, when the fans come back, as much as people want to try to continue with these, they're probably not going to, just simply because fans, especially being gone for so long, I'm not so sure that the fans are going to want to come back and be watching a screen for a match. So yeah, I agree. I mean, they might do them again, but they might save them to something really big, like a WrestleMania or something along those lines. So Jake said it's rumored to be a cinematic match at Extreme Rules with huge surprises no one is expecting. I'm guessing one will be Rowan. Yeah, let's talk about Rowan. So like Jodie said, we saw that picture. That picture was from the time when they were feuding with the New Day. And Jodie did some investigation there, did a little bit of magnifying glass work, and zoomed in on Bray's hand, and there was no tattoo on Bray's hand. So yes, in case you were wondering if that was a new picture, it was not a new picture. So yeah. And obviously it's just showing the three of them, Braun and Rowan and Bray. So is it possible that Rowan comes back? Jeff, do you think that they're going to bring Rowan back for this thing?
I don't know. I don't think they will, because I think that I don't really think Bray's story needs to have anyone else included right now.
Yeah.
He may show up as this new persona, because it's been reported he officially changed his name to Eric Redbeard. So maybe that's a third kind of feud or triangle kind of thing with the three of them. I don't necessarily think he returns to help out Cult Leader Bray, though.
Okay. Jodie, what do you think?
I kind of think the same thing. I mean, obviously, I spent a lot of time talking to people who have that insider info, but I really don't think that anybody's going to be joining Bray anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think it would make sense just yet.
If Rowan does appear, it'll be to mess with Braun's head. If they're doing that cinematic match, maybe you see him pop up somewhere, because I think his thing expires like 3 or 4 days after Extreme Rules. So if you see him pop up in that cinematic match, it'll be to mess with Braun's head, and that's it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, either way, look, if he does even show up in the match and is definitely him, that's kind of cool, because I guess that means he's back in WWE. So at least that would be something that we would all learn there. So, yeah, look, there's so many possibilities now, because whatever this match is going to end up being, and I'm imagining it's going to be announced probably soon, either this coming week or the very latest, I think the next week on Smackdown, where these two are going to meet. But I'm sure we'll get more clues as we go. So then, look, I'll put this question out to you guys again, and you can answer in the chat. Is The Fiend on the shelf? And I think it's a legit question, because when Mick Foley had his face as a Foley, now the way he did that, if you guys don't know, he did it in a similar way, where Cactus Jack was kind of the guy who would come out and not lose. So he was kind of similar to his Fiend character is. He had Dude Love, who was obviously similar to Funhouse Bray, and then he had Mankind. So kind of similar, and he was able to wrestle with each one of these personalities. And the nice thing about this is, if one of them loses, it doesn't necessarily hurt the other. So nothing's going to hurt the Fiend, because the Fiend obviously is only going to be used in certain circumstances when you know that chances are he's going to win the match. And so I think that, is the Fiend now gone for a while? I mean, are we going to see, if this does go over into SummerSlam, is this just a one-off for Cult Leader Bray? Or is this going to be more, and is he going to move over into SummerSlam as well? Or is this going to just be more like head games to try to, kind of get Braun a little bit more screwed up about this whole thing, and then he sends the Fiend out for the kill in the SummerSlam match?
I think it depends where they want to go with SummerSlam, because if you think about that WrestleMania match that he had with Cena, it was all about rewriting history. So most of that, the part of the match that was a match, it was Cult Leader Bray, and the Fiend only came out to get the pin. So I think we could see something like that at Extreme Rules, where majority of the beginning and the build-up and the tension, all of that is between Braun and Cult Leader Bray. And then maybe, we get the same thing, that the Fiend pops up right at the end just to get the pin. That's possible. You could also have it, like you said, Cult Leader Bray loses, or there's some kind of weird screwy finish. which brings out, then we get another Firefly Funhouse episode saying, well, Cult Leader Bray couldn't get the job done either, so now the Fiend's going to have to take care of business, and then you have Braun Strowman versus the Fiend at SummerSlam. I think it just depends. I could see it going either of those two ways. If, the next feud for Bray is wanting to get set up by SummerSlam, like if it's Roman or something like that, then, maybe we see it at Extreme Rules. But I would see them saving the Fiend for SummerSlam because he's a big ticket item and he's very special. And I think that's the direction they're trying to go, I think, is to keep the Fiend reserved for those big pay-per-views. And kind of like the Three Faces of Foley, I don't think this is the last that we're going to see Cult Leader Bray. I think he's going to use whichever character he feels like is going to get the job done. Obviously, he knows that Cult Leader Bray is going to be the biggest mind game for Braun Strowman. His next feud, it may be somebody different. His next feud, it might be something else. But I think he's going to use whichever character he has to his advantage in whatever match he's doing.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Sean Rousset agrees. He said, I think Bray will use the Fiend sparingly like Finn Balor uses Demon King. Yeah, good point. Finn went to a point where he would use that very, very sparingly. You'd see Demon King once, sometimes a year. I don't know if they'll do that far apart because I know they think, look, the Fiend is a cash cow. Every time he appears, they're going to sell merch. So I don't think they'll let him be gone for that amount of time, but I think you're on to something. C Wrestling says to have the Fiend face Braun may need to hurt Cult Leader Bray first. Yeah, good point. He obviously had to hurt Funhouse Bray first to get Cult Leader Bray. So if they're going in progression, yeah. Nail says Cult Bray, Funhouse Bray, and Fiend should be around and act unaware of each other and confuse everyone. Look, Foley played this up like crazy, so it all can possibly happen like that. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. DBO, welcome. He says, what about Muscle Man Wyatt? Yeah, look, sure.
I think Muscle Man Wyatt is an extension of Funhouse Bray.
Yeah, it would seem so. I don't
think he's a separate entity.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree. It would seem so. So I like I said, I polled you guys and it was close. I think it came out to be like 53-49 or even maybe a little closer than that. And you all said that the Fiend, you're all saying that the Fiend was going to appear at SummerSlam. So you guys all thought that the Fiend would be back for the SummerSlam match. And if that happens, then how does this go? Because then something again, like C brought up, then something again would have to hurt to this version of Bray in order to get rid of this version of Bray and have the Fiend have to come out. So SummerSlam obviously is a big pay-per-view, the second biggest of the year. So if that's the case, then I guess we would expect the Fiend to show up. Now I saw I can't remember whose comments they were, but I saw someone say, it might've been Sasuke. I think he said it, that, maybe a little overkill here because it's going to be 3 matches in a row with Braun. Yeah, maybe, but look, if you're going to do an overkill kind of a thing, this would be the time to do it because Braun was a part of the family. This is going to be a harder deal. This is going to be a harder convert for him to get past the guy who was in the Wyatt family. So, someone
he can't quite get over.
Yep.
It's going to take a lot more to get him to turn than, somebody that's hurt him in the past. And, it's going to be a lot harder to get your brother to turn than, somebody that's not that close to you.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. You know what? I think this is I think they have a really good setup here now though, because look, if now that we know Cult Leader Bray can come back, obviously that character is going to want to come back when he does eventually go up against Randy Orton. There's no question about it. No 100%. Question about it. So, now that they brought this character out and they're introducing this character back into the fold, it would make sense for the people that are possibly coming up on his list. Whether it's Orton, whether it's, whether they're going to bring the New Day or whoever else is going to be on that list. then they could have that persona be around for the remaining people that are on that list. Rusty says, what if Bray is just building up Braun's character right now so that he'll look like a much stronger member when he finally joins him again? Yeah, look, are they going to a faction? I know Jodie said earlier that she didn't think so. I don't think he needs it yet. If they're going to, it may be somewhere down the road yet, because look, here's the thing, guys. If he's playing the faces of Foley, Mick never had anyone with him either.
Right.
So if you're playing
they are their own family.
Exactly. You're playing a multiple personality character. You've got your own family within you. So plus he's got the puppets playing around in his head.
Right.
He's got plenty of heads going on inside of his mind right now.
He's got plenty of voices around.
Yeah. I don't know that he needs to bring anyone else in. Moda, hello to you. He says, oops, I hope Cult Leader Bray. Oh man. Disappeared on me. Where did Moda's comment go? Killing me. I hate technology.
He said, I hope Cult Leader Bray wins at Extreme Rules. I think Cult Leader Bray losing and The Fiend coming out to revenge at SummerSlam is too predictable.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think it is and it isn't.
I think the predictability end of it, all bets are kind of off now, because I kind of don't think that people thought he was bringing this character back. Right. I didn't. I mean, even though, we could point out that the Funhouse, wasn't, that was the Eater of Worlds Bray that he got rid of in the Funhouse and stuff. But I didn't think that this character was coming back. I know we saw him in that Funhouse match, but I was completely taken aback by this. I did not expect this at all. So to me, I don't think so. I don't necessarily think it's predictable, because we don't know what's going to happen. But who knows? I mean, they could. Who knows? They could mess around with this and go a different direction. I think, and a few of you said it's long-term storytelling. Absolutely, it's very long-term storytelling, and it bodes well for the WWE, because obviously Mr. Pritchard is helping do this along with Bray. So it's no secret that Raw got better last week, and we'll see if it continues into this week. So absolutely, we will see. So where are we headed? Look, I mean, let's project even more. So if he does get to SummerSlam and it's Bray or Braun versus Fiend, are we seeing a title change? Are we maybe, because then I know some of you guys are talking about this too. Are we seeing a title change before then? Like, is the thing with Cult Leader Bray going to mess around with Braun? And is Braun going to be incapacitated in some way? And does Otis come down during that cinematic match and pin him and grab his title away? Something like that going to happen? So in SummerSlam, Braun doesn't have that title. Would they really do something like that?
I don't know. I don't know what to do. How to play this title anymore, because obviously he doesn't need it, but it would right some wrongs for him to get it back. The only downside is, he's going to lose it again. So, I could see, Joseph mentioned this too. Eater of Worlds being a no contest at Extreme Rules, and I could definitely see that happening. Maybe Cult Leader Bray goes too far, or Braun goes too far, and they just stop the match. And they, that would be a good way to, Braun keeps the title, but everything just went too far. Kind of like Hell in a Cell, but better. But I honestly think you've got to put it back on him at SummerSlam.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, we've also
unless Braun, like you said, Braun loses it in the meantime to somebody else. But if this feud is all about Bray and Braun, who else is he going to lose it to? I really don't see Otis cashing in anytime soon. That's just my personal thing, but I don't know anymore.
The title does put a crimp in the picture a little bit. I mean, KJ Carter says The Fiend is one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE. Shout out. Can I get a shout out, please? Yes. Shout out to you, KJ. I look, the title does put a damper on the whole overall thing, but Listen, we've been reading stuff too about Roman. I mean, Roman may have fallen a little bit out of favor a little bit in the time that he was gone. Why, I don't know, but there are rumors out there saying that he might have fallen a bit out of favor. And there are also rumors saying that it's going to be Roman versus The Rock in Hollywood next year at WrestleMania. So if that's the case, that's going to be a huge buildup because The Rock doesn't appear very often. So when are they going to start that whole thing? Are they going to want Roman with the belt at that time? Because they may not, because obviously, it pretty much tells you that The Rock's not winning that match because The Rock's not going to carry a title. So are they going to want that for a belt? Man, I don't know. That it's really a good question to see, what are they going to do with this belt business? I mean, they do have an easy out with Otis because if they wanted to put that title on him, they have an easy out there. So I don't know. That's a tough call. That's a tough call. Sean says, I want to see heel Roman. Yeah. Well, if you do that, then yeah, I mean, Roman's better as a heel, I think.
He really is.
Yeah, same with Seth. I mean, I think the both of them are just better as heels. But again, then storyline wise, you're almost having heel versus heel at that point, and then you're right back to that whole thing of people probably booing Roman more than they're booing the actual heel in the Fiend. So I don't know. I don't know if they would want to confuse it that much. Moda also says, let's see, don't forget the first time Bray won the world title, it was his cult leader Bray, and that would come back full circle. Yep. We talk about circles quite a bit. That's very true.
You do.
That is very true.
Bray likes to talk about circles too.
Yes, that is very true. Huskus is in the chat. Huskus the pig boy. Hello, Huskus. Huskus, you should be snacking somewhere, but you're in our chat. Imagine if The Fiend wins the Universal title and then starts a feud with Otis and taunts him with the Huskus puppet. Well, of course you would say that, Huskus. It's all about Huskus. So of course you would say that. Yes. I liked when the puppets were in the thing. I thought that was kind of cool. The fact that they were down at the match, I thought that was kind of neat to see. So I kind of hope they do that a little bit more, especially if it's a cinematic match, because you kind of know that nobody else is, nobody else is seeing them. That Bray is the only one that's seeing the puppets. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that would be cool. DJB Tazzy, hello, sir. He says things would be so easier if the title wasn't involved. Yeah, I agree. I think that you don't want to make Braun look bad. Losing it so quickly. I mean, he's only carried it for a little while, but then again, I said this before about Drew as well, because I was kind of thinking that Drew was going to maybe lose the title. Look, if they're going to do that kind of a thing, then maybe you do it now, before the fans are back in the building, because then, they can't complain as much about it.
Kind of like with the cinematic matches too. Like you're running out of time to get to do those the way you want to. Do them before fans come back. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Did Jeff lose his power? I keep seeing that in the Jeff has that's not good.
We're still live. So.
We are, yeah. I don't know how that happened. Hey, thankfully we didn't get knocked out with Jeff's power. Unfortunately Jeff gets a lot of thunderstorms down his area, and he's in a kind of a rural area, and thunder wreaks havoc with poor Jeff's stuff. So hopefully Jeff can get back soon. Chris Dazuba, welcome, sir. He says awesome theories. Thank you. Well, listen, you guys, you tell us. So, I mean, what are you hoping happens here? Tell us in the chat what you're looking to see, what you want to see the most out of this feud and what's going on. What do you think we're going to get this coming week, Jody? What do you think we're going to see? Do you think we're going to see another Funhouse? Do you think it's going to be a reaction by Braun and nothing from Bray? What do you think we're going to see?
I think we'll probably get another Funhouse. If not, some kind of little interruption or snippet or something. Maybe, and obviously, building up to Extreme Rules, I would love to see a contract signing.
That would be different.
Between Cult Leader Bray and Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing.
something they definitely could do in a situation like that. Because again, with Funhouse, Bray doesn't come out of the Funhouse usually, and obviously the Fiend would never do a contract signing. So
well, he did.
That's true. That's true.
He has done a contract signing, but I think we're definitely going to get some mind games from Cult Leader Bray.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I still would like to see, lights go out. We think it's going to be a Fiend attack or something. Lights come back up and the rocking chair's just sitting there on top of the stage or in the ring or something.
Look, if you see the lights set up with the rocking chair and the lantern, any of that stuff where do you see we were talking about this too. What do you think? What theme song are we thinking he comes down to? I mean, is he coming down to the old theme song?
100%.
Yeah. That 100%.
Awesome. If he's coming out to wrestle as Cult Leader Bray, he's coming out to his old theme song. And Nails, thank you. She said my giggle is super cute.
Yeah, that would be awesome to hear. And the lights would go down if they have the people in there from the performance center. The performance center would all be holding up their cell phones with the little light on them.
We get the fireflies back.
Yes, we would get that back as well. Yeah, that would be awesome too.
I would completely mark out. I'm not gonna lie.
Do we think he's got the whole world in his hand?
I would cry. I legit would. I would, I got teary-eyed when Cult Leader Bray showed up. If we got that chant back, I would cry.
Oh man. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome to see. Let's see. Jason Stoffer, hello to you. He says, I hope that the Wyatt family reforms with Cult Leader Bray, Black Sheep Braun, Bo Dallas, and Eric Rowan, and then put the title on the Fiend at SummerSlam. Follow the Buzzards. Wow, that would be
the Buzzards.
Awesome. Austin says, I missed that old theme. Yes.
So do I.
Killer Sasuke, what does this mean for the lantern that meant old Bray was dead? That's a good question. That's a very good question.
I think the lantern signifies the Eater of Worlds Bray that he chopped when he chopped his own head off.
Yeah. That's a good shout. Sure. I mean, it could be. I mean, do we not see that for a while? I don't know. That's a great question. That's an absolutely great question. John Dior.
Yeah, does Cult Leader Bray bring out his own head?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be
really trippy.
That would be
Cult Leader Bray brought out his own head lantern.
That would be really creepy for sure. Moda also said, did anyone see that toward the end of that promo that Braun was sort of smiling? So I think he's into it, but also sort of scared at the same time. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Did anybody else catch the accent change before you saw Cult Leader Bray?
I did not.
He said, when Braun says there's no more games and our story is over, and Bray starts to say, I wasn't lying about resurrecting the dead. Our story is, when he says our story is just getting started, his accent changes into Cult Leader Bray before you actually see Cult Leader Bray.
There you
go.
So
go back and watch that again.
Jesse said, or I'm sorry, Callan Corner. Hello, Jesse. Yes, it was Jesse. Jesse says, but he's really good in the ring. And how do we know he doesn't hold it long? Look, he could. I just don't know, with his storyline, I just don't know that they want him to. I think that's the question. Because, we saw, I think Jodie brought this up in a prior episode where she said he's better as the hunted, or the hunter and not the hunted, because if he becomes the hunted, then you got to get in the title picture. So you can't really focus on the story anymore. Right. You've got to focus on the ones that are chasing him now. Which then becomes their story more than Bray's. So yeah, I don't know. I think he would be better without the title. I've always thought that way. John Dioria, hello. He says, hi guys, sorry I'm late. No worries, man. James Chadwick says, lights go out and there's kids with the black sheep masks all around the ring. That would be awesome.
Man.
That would be awesome. Mind games galore, man. That would be awesome.
So how about this? I think C Wrestling was the one that suggested this in one of his videos. If you have all three faces of Bray Wyatt enter the Rumble next year. And that's how you build up the Randy Orton thing.
That would be interesting. I mean, I think we've seen that. Haven't we seen that from Mick Foley? And anybody in the chat that's in there can tell us. Because I'm okay. So we saw him do that in a Royal Rumble where he came out as different personalities. Yeah, it could be. Jesse says she was talking about Otis. Oh, okay. Why wouldn't I know that? Jesse is a very big Otis fan.
I love Otis.
Yeah, well, hey, what's not to love, man? What's not to love with Otis?
I do love Otis.
Oh, man. Moda says, I'd like to see them rig up some sort of life-size baby mobile with multiple Mercies attached to it. Just slowly spinning around, and then you just follow the buzzards. Oh, man.
Now.
Oh, my. Big Boy showed up as well. Hello to you, man. Thank you for joining us in the chat. Yeah, look, it's really cool. It's really cool. Obviously, we haven't seen much from Bray for a while, and it was really cool to see, and everything was buzzing about it. I think it was trending on Twitter for a little while, and look, everybody got out their fedoras once again and their Hawaiian shirts.
He knew it too, because the first thing he said was, "Did you miss me?"
He did.
Well, no shit. Of course we missed you, dumbass. Come on now.
Oh man, yeah. Look, it was tough. It was tough having a show about Bray and no Bray. So yeah, it was really, really cool to see.
Actually,
so guys, throw us some of your questions here. We're gonna wrap up in probably about 12 minutes or so. So we can pass it over to Days of Stream for for Raw, Monday Night Raw. And it's supposed to
one of my favorite YouTubers, BC Amplified. He does a lot of reaction videos to wrestling and stuff, and he made me laugh when he was doing his reaction video to Bray showing up, and he mentioned something too about him saying, "Did you miss me?" And he goes, "I audibly, like out loud, yelled yes at my television screen."
I'm sure a lot of people did. I'm sure a lot of people did. When you haven't seen that character for a while and you kind of thought it was done. When people first saw it again on the Funhouse match, I think a lot of people got fired up when they saw that there, and then thinking that you wouldn't see it again. It was just part of that match, but now here you go. It's he's back, and I'm sure. Listen. In all fairness, Bray's got to be a little uncomfortable wearing that mask all the time during a match. So now he doesn't have to. So there you go. Another advantage. Richard said he did notice the accent change as well. So there you go. Joseph says maybe JoJo debuts as Sister Abigail. Oh, man. I'm kind of thinking she's going to be a little bit busy at home with the kids. So who knows? Who knows? Monica King laughed at that. Hello, Monica, if I didn't say hello to you earlier. Jesse said, I miss Bray so much when he was gone. Yes, I think we all did. Jason Stoffer wants to know if we see Husky Harris. No, I do not think we will ever see Husky Harris again. That character is, of course, be represented by Huskus, and he is not fond of that character. If you listen to our interview with Jesse Cage, I think that was, Jesse said that he would never even mention that name around Bray because he'd be afraid for the ramifications.
He'd probably get the devil stare.
Yeah.
Nails. It's like Voldemort. We don't bring up that name.
Yes.
He who shall not be named.
Nail says, I screamed, he's back. Yeah, I'm sure you weren't the only one.
DJ said, I almost broke my chair when I saw Cult Leader Bray.
Oh, man. Again, buddy, I'm sure you weren't the only one that
I had an audible reaction. I wish I could have gotten it on video.
Oh man, Dave says it's really nice to get excited about something with everything else going on in the world. Yes, I agree. I agree. Bray comes to the rescue and everybody starts thinking about storylines again. So yeah, I agree. There you go. Killer Sasuke says Otis is going to use the money in the bank as a lunchbox. Oh man, Rusty says I seriously doubt that we'll ever see a physical embodiment of Abigail. Yeah, we talked about that a bunch.
I agree. We already did. It was Bray. He dressed up as Sister Abigail.
Yeah, I kind of don't think we will either. She's more of like a spirit. I don't think we will either. And I think the reason that they did that with the name copyright is because of Matt Hardy. I don't think they want Matt Hardy using that.
And I don't think they want. Excuse me. I don't think they want Bray taking it somewhere else either.
Yeah. Jeff is in the chat. Hello, Jeff. Jeff's in the chat. Must be on his phone. Don't worry about it, buddy. Storms happen, man. Nothing we could do about it. Forces of nature.
Thank you, C. I appreciate that.
C said Jodie's reaction is why they can't go live after Funhouse, as it takes Jodie 3 days to stop screaming. That would be a little awkward, being that she works in a hospital.
Wrestling. Who was the person that called me on Skype? Equally as excited as I was. Thank you very much.
Oh, I think that would be a little tough, though, Jodie. You work in a hospital. If you were screaming all day long in a hospital, yeah, I don't think that would probably be a good thing.
That wouldn't be good.
Abigail counts as another face of Wyatt. Yes, 4 faces of Wyatt. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think Austin, again, I think they kind of want to maybe forget about that whole thing when he dressed up as Abby. Yeah, I don't kind of think they want to bring that back. No. So Jacoby agrees Sister Abigail's a spirit in Bray's mind. Yeah, I think so. I would think so. Dave says no one does, but that's why he's funny. Killer Sasuke, Moda says we need to see some sort of tricked up briefcase with Otis like Brock did with his.
That'd be funny.
That would be really funny. Yeah, look, guys. I mean, it was really awesome. It was really awesome to see that character come back. I when you see something that you haven't seen in a while, it's fun to kind of go back to that. And, we haven't seen that character in well over a year now. So I think it was really cool to see him back. Looks good, obviously. And Jodie also pointed out that was not the same shirt that he wore at the Funhouse match.
It was not.
So there you go.
Only because I noticed it, only because I literally like 2 hours ago went back and watched the WrestleMania match because I noticed the similarity in the music, and the one in the Mania match, it's like a black shirt with a bunch of flowers on it. And then this one from the Funhouse episode is orange. So
if you guys ever watched, and again, I know I'm old, but if you guys ever watched the show Magnum PI, I think that Bray is raiding Magnum's closet from that show, because I think it was Tom Selleck that played that role, and I think he's raiding that closet for the character because, man, he wore some bright Hawaiian shirts back in the day. So, yeah. C Wrestling is saying, I deny all allegations. I have contacted my legal team, who have agreed for me to make no further comment on those allegations, Jodie. So there you go. There you go.
He can't deny it because I know the truth.
Jesse says, I wasn't able to watch it live, so I listened to Days to hear when it came on, and still freaked when Cult Leader Bray happened. Yeah, sorry you weren't able to see that live. That was really awesome to see. But yeah, I'm sure Days probably freaked out as well. Killer Sasuke says, could Giant Ninja be Rambling Rabbit? I don't think so.
No.
Giant Ninja is not going to be rambling very much. Giant Ninja is a giant. So nope, I don't think so. Yeah. Nail says, get off my lawn. Yeah, I say that all the time. That's an old guy saying.
Get off the grass.
James says, do you guys think it will be Fiend versus Orton at Mania 37? Good possibility. I would like it to be Mania
38 because I plan on going, and I would love to see the Fiend versus Orton at WrestleMania 38.
Yeah. Look, we are seeing all kinds of amazing stuff from Randy Orton right now. all
man.
kinds of amazing stuff. Randy Orton is honestly one of the best. I mean, the fact that he is still at the top of his game and he is now probably the number one heel out there right now in wrestling still at his age is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's, tonight Ric Flair, I think is going to do something with him on Raw and crown him the best ever or something like that. So something's going on there. And Jeff, I agree, man. Orton has never been better. Yes, absolutely. Randy Orton is at the top of his game. So if that does happen, they should really make that into a long storyline because that can go on for quite a while. I think Orton isn't done with Edge. I think he's still going to have another match with Edge somewhere down the line when Edge gets back and finish that off. So I don't think they're done. Now there's rumors that Christian's going to be involved now. That Christian's going to come back and there's going to be a match maybe between Randy and Christian coming up. So yeah, awesome guys. Listen, it was really, really fun getting something new this week, as it always is with Bray. Jodie, is there any new merch out there for Bray? I know we found a couple things the last time. Has there been anything new?
Actually, I was looking today, and I don't know when this got posted on the WWE shop, but there's a Let Me In beach towel.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I don't know when it got posted, but I was just scrolling through WWE shop today while I was on a break at work, and I was like, it's a Let Me In beach towel. How cool is that?
Keep your eyes out, guys, for that. Those of you that are collecting Funkos and the figures and stuff like that, because it is San Diego Comic-Con time. Obviously, there isn't a Comic-Con, and they are going to do live stuff online. But I know Days made today earlier a video about a Mr. T Elite figure that they're doing. So keep your eyes on that, because if they're going to show anything where it might be the Funhouse Bray figure, that's coming in August that they may show a first picture of. And also there's rumors about an Elite Fiend figure that's going to be out before the end of this year. And I don't know when it's going to get shown, but at Comic-Con, they like to talk about exclusives, especially pops. So don't be surprised if you get a Funhouse Bray and Puppets exclusive Funkos, because that would be an easy set for them to make. They can make a box set and have Bray in the middle, have the Funhouse backdrop, and have Puppets in there with him. So wouldn't be surprised at all if they would do something like that. So keep your eye on Comic-Con as well, because that is going on, I think, in the next few days. So keep watching that for merch as well. Jeff said we're not going to be able to log out unless we log into his account. So we're here for all night, guys. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We'll just keep talking until midnight or so when we start talking about The Undertaker. We'll just change it up. We'll just change it up. I might have to go and get a drink to, refresh my voice a little bit, but hey, why not? We'll just stay on. Oh man,
we need a cult leader Bray Funko Pop. Yes, we do.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
See Wrestling said Raw watch along with the Insider.
Yeah, I'll just turn my TV on in the background. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. Moda said, Joe, it was Magnum PI, and trust me, there are worse closets and Bray could raid than his. Yes, there are. Yeah, he was very fashionable, very, very fashionable guy. Well, listen, guys. Obviously, no, we're not going to keep you guys all night long. We'll figure something out about how to get out of here. But look, thank you all for joining us as always. Listen, we have a special coming up later tonight. Maybe we'll still be on by then. We don't know. But let's keep our fingers crossed that Jeff's power comes back on, because if he does, maybe the Undertaker will give us a little hand and call down some power and whatever to get Jeff's power back. But we are doing an Undertaker. This is the stream that will never ever end. Clever, love it, clever. So anyway, we're doing an Undertaker special later on tonight. after Raw, 11:15. We will all be back. Jodie, myself, and Jeff will all be back to talk about the dead man. We all know what happened yesterday with him with the last episode of The Last Ride. It looks as if he's going to be retiring for good. We will talk about that. If you guys don't agree, please come into the chat later with us and tell us what you think is next for the dead man and for the Undertaker. So for me and for powerless Jeff and for Jodie's going to take us out. And listen, guys, as always, thank you for coming by and stopping to peek in the window. And man, I hope Bray keeps listening to Bonnie Raitt and continues to give us something to talk about.
Yes, thank you guys for coming along. We have enjoyed it as usual, and we will see you guys later on tonight for the Undertaker tribute. If not, we'll see you on a future episode. Obviously, we will be back next Monday at 6 o'clock.
Yes, yes, yes. We will always have the window at 6 o'clock on Monday. So listen, guys, if we don't see you later tonight, I hope you have a great week. We got a couple things for the podcast. Wednesday, we have an interview that we just did today with Derek. He is a DJ that we spoke to, a wrestling fan. He attended a WrestleMania. So we talked to him today. It was a great interview. That will be on at 6 o'clock on Wednesday before AEW and NXT. And then our regular podcast will be on at 10:15. That will be following NXT and AEW with Gary Cassidy as always. And Gary has really been very busy with all the news going on over the last week. So we'll get to talk to Gary and hear about what's going on with him. Unfortunately, we will not have Adam Rotella. Adam has decided to kind of step away a little bit from the NWA temporarily, of course, until things get back going again. So we will have a little extra time probably to talk with Gary, and then we are going to come up with a new segment to fill in that spot for our next show. So listen, guys, again, thank you all for joining us today. We really, really appreciate it, and we will see you guys all again very soon. And don't be afraid to leave. We may be stuck here the whole rest of the night, so go on and do what you need to do. And we'll see you guys all soon. Thanks a lot, guys.
I think they're sticking around.
Are you guys sticking around to hear? Do I have to do a Ferris Bueller? Go home. The show is over. Go home. They're sticking around because it's the outtakes. That's what it is.
Right,
they just want to hear if we
is.
do any goofy things in the outtakes. That's why they're all sticking around. See Wrestling says I am home. This is literally going to be the stream that goes on forever. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just going to go on forever. It's going to go on forever. Yeah. Jeff said we need to log off when we're ready. Don't think my power will be back up by then. All right. There you go. So we're going to have to log off. Deadpool did that too. I know. Stop with the Deadpool. I hate Deadpool. Rusty, no more Deadpool.
Shoot. Let me see if I can figure out how to turn this off. Ooh, go for Taco Bell. I guess it's just me now because Joe's gone. So it's just me. So Jeff is trying to talk me through how to log in and actually stop the live stream. If my computer will turn on. Abby's window is open 24/7 like McDonald's. No, I am not singing. No, absolutely not. Because I cannot carry a tune. I am not singing. But I'll answer some questions until Joe figures out how to turn this off. When is this episode ending? I have no idea. I think Joe is trying to log in to actually stop the live stream. What if this is a trick? What if we've all been sucked into the cult? There's no escape. Yes, you're all stuck in Abby's funhouse now. Ha ha, very funny. I actually don't like Klondike bars, but I'm more of a popsicle person. Tell us a secret about C wrestling. He doesn't sleep much. I guess that's not really a secret though. What do I think made Bray come up with the name Sister Abigail? From the information that I know, I think Abigail is a name of somebody that he knows. So it's actually somebody that he knows. That's all I know. Can I do a fiend voice? No. I'm not a very good impersonator. I'm actually a terrible impersonator. Do you think cats are plotting the end of the human race? Probably. That would not surprise me at all. Would I rather super kick Jesse or Sunny? Neither of them, because I love them both.